And we're live.
Hello, everyone. This is session number 2 of our Mutant Epoch, or the Mutant Epoch campaign here. Skankin' Spitz as your GM. And does one of you players want to do a quick recap of the previous events?
Sure, I can. So we have two distinct groups of characters that are both on missions. The first, we have one group. We have Edward, Peabody, and Reginald are going to be going to the town of Gearshift, which is supposedly out in the desert. We are currently in Shamrock, and we're staying in the inn before our mission the night before. Our other group, which consists of Ebony, Billy Buck, and Lou, are currently investigating a mystery of a deceased turtle man who was killed in mysterious circumstances, and we're also accompanying the turtle men, I believe, back to where they came from as well. Yes. So that's the quick recap. And they're in the woods. They just entered the woods, and they may or may not be staying the night, or they had stayed the night. So that's as far as I know.
Sure. So let's go ahead and pick up our scene with Four Eyes, Peabody, and Reginald. You guys have, I'm pretty sure you guys said you were spending the night in Shamrock. The mayor was putting you up there. So, just cut to, it's the next morning. You guys have walked down the mountain. I mean, we could have some banter as you guys are finishing your walk if you want, but essentially you guys have already, rose and collected your things and are going to meet down by this tank.
Mm-hmm.
So, Peabody, when was the last time you saw your kind?
That is hard to say. That part of my memory seems to have been corrupted.
Yeah, you mentioned when you first saw me, you mentioned someone you knew. Who was this person? I can't recall the name.
Ah, yes. That was, Genevieve. She was a friend of mine. She used to always help me with the laundry and the tasks around the farm, and buttering the bread, and helping me clean, and things of that nature, giving me massages and things.
Farm, interesting.
You seem strangely friendly compared to more cyborgs I've met.
Do I? Well, maybe you just don't know enough cyborgs.
Well, you're the first cyborg I've met.
We're out there. Some of us are just hidden in junk piles.
Like yourself.
Not hidden anymore, thanks to my good friend Edgar.
No, Edward. Edward.
As I was saying, Genevieve, she was I wouldn't call her a cyborg exactly, more of a synthetic. The distinction is often lost on many people of your nature, but it's all really the same when you get down to it. Sorry, what?
Yes. Well,
Do you have a question about the cyborgs? Our hopes and dreams and aspirations?
you were a servant on this farm?
Yes, well, yes, a servant of sorts. More of a live-in sort of... yes, a servant is the proper term.
Yes.
Now hurry the hell up and make them biscuits! Bam! By this time, you guys have You guys have reached the bottom of the mountain. You're not far from the tank, and you're also obviously within earshot of the inn as well. The Travelers Inn ran by Horace, and you look over and you see that Horace has shoved out this woman who's wearing some peasant's rags. Now hurry up and quit your whining so you can get back in here and make them goddamn biscuits, he says as he throws her to the ground and then slams the door behind him. She's sort of standing or sitting on the ground weeping, trying to gather her composure.
Reginald is just gonna approach cautiously and just before she turns around, just tap her on the shoulder and ask her, "Are you okay, madam?"
Yeah, it's nothing. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. She says, wiping the tears away, not turning around to look up at your visage.
Is there anything I can do to help? You seem to be in a situation.
It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's how he always treats me. It's how he treats all of the work, really. Well,
Yeah. Horace has always been that type. He treats even his customers sometimes like that. Got a bit of a temper, that man.
he's a perfectly horrid man. I must say, she turns around and she can see she's looking at the cyborg and the four-eyed typical mutant, as it were, but she doesn't see. You're sort of standing on the other side of her, so her eyes don't really fixate upon you, Reginald.
For the best, probably.
So what are you? Are you guys travelers, or I recognize you from the farm here.
Yes. Yes, we are on a mission. We, as you know, the drought has been quite bad these last couple of years, and we are seeking more water out in a settlement out in the desert. Gear Shift, heard of it?
I don't think so. It doesn't ring any bells, although the innkeep usually tries to, well, he gets quite angry if I'm away from my station behind closed doors, so I don't get to talk to many people. Maybe I could go with you. I mean, I can cook. I'm a good cook, and everyone needs to eat, right?
Never mind the cooking. How good are you at massages?
What? What is that?
Massage, where you... It's complicated. It involves a lot of oil, rubbing of the palms, and things of that nature.
I think what Peabody here is trying to say is that he has he often gets parts of his body that need extra lubricating. Wait, did I say that right? Yes, that's correct, Peabody, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. And you know, his machine parts, they often get very rusty and need
Well,
extra.
yes, of course, my machine parts. What did you think I meant?
Oh, that's what the oils must be for. He always wants it kept in the back so it doesn't attract more people like you, I suppose. Listen, I can probably steal away in there and go grab some if you guys let me go with you.
Well, that would be beneficial to me, at least.
Well, we got enough food, we got enough water, if that's how you feel. I understand the feeling of needing to get out of here.
I should warn you, though, we are going to a very dangerous place.
Yes, out in the desert, in fact.
Dangerous? Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be all right. I don't think too many people can live out there, or too many animals. Anything's better than dealing. I mean, can you imagine dealing with him every day? 12
Yes,
hours a day?
shouldn't have to work for a master who lays his hands on you, at least not in that way.
Okay, I'll be right back. No, don't leave without me, okay? She runs back in the inn. She goes up some stairs on the outside and up through another door in the top.
Is this wise, Edward? Things could get pretty hairy once we get there.
Yes, well, this seems to be her choice. There seems to be no life left for her here. I don't really see her. If she chooses to come with us, we've warned her of the danger, but if she feels that's what's necessary, I mean, I'm not gonna spend my time, looking after her all the time. Hopefully, she can take care of herself, as every modern person should be able to take care of themselves.
Ba-dong, boom, 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 boom. You guys look over and see a pot that she has dropped that's rolling all the way down the stairs as she comes out with her arms full of cooking supplies and some bottles of oil stuffed in one of the pots that she's got there.
Excellent.
Now remember, Peabody, she is not a piece of lumber. Do not try and cut her in half.
Oh, I know the difference between flesh and wood.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me, could you please hand me the oil?
Well, her arms are kind of full. Go ahead and take it. I mean, take all of it. I don't have any use for it.
By hand me the oil, I meant could you please open it for me?
Why don't I take some of that to the tank for you? I'm sure there'll be some room there. We can store it.
That's good, but this is urgent. This is very urgent. I'm starting to lock up, and my shoulder is seizing up. If you could just
The
crack
tank?
the lid.
We're going in the tank?
No, well, I don't think we're going in the tank, but the tank will be coming with us.
She immediately bustles her way over to the tank, which is about 40 or 50 yards away from where you guys are. She immediately heads that direction in excitement. Doesn't
Come back
even wait for
here.
your response.
Come back here.
Oh, I'll do it for you. I grab one of the bottles of oil that dropped on the ground and I uncork it. Here.
What are you handing it to me for?
So you can...
No. This isn't how it works. You're supposed to rub it on your palms.
Why? I don't...
Just like Genevieve always used to do.
So flashback to you and Genevieve in one of your sessions.
That's
you can
the spot. That's the thermoregulator. That's the spot right there. Stroke it up and down. There we go.
All right, let's just cut back.
Yes.
I'm not sure we have time for this, Peabody. We've got...
There's always... That we don't not have time. I can't even walk. Now, get moving. I need that on my knee right now.
It's not getting any wetter out there. We need to go get this...
Oh, your knee! Oh, well, I can put on your knee. So I put some on my palms and start rubbing the general direction of his knee.
That's not my knee. What? Who taught you anatomy? Upwards. Remember, his data circuits are corrupted, so some of what he thinks is certain things there's things that are crossed. So.
Well, this is definitely your knee. I know knees. This is your knee. I will not go higher than this.
Well, that's no good to me at all. That part's working just fine.
Well, I'm sure later tonight you can ask very nicely. You can ask our our new acquaintance if she would like to rub your knee.
Fine. So he snatches the oil out of your hand and he just like starts dousing himself in it. Ah,
Definitely
much
the
better.
strangest cyborg I've met.
Well, maybe they can help him in gear shift. Maybe they can get him a new whatever he needs.
He starts rubbing it across his lips. Ah, much better. It's good to have a stiff upper lip, they say, but perhaps not that stiff.
Well, I follow our new acquaintance. Do I happen to know her name? Have I met her before?
Yeah, you guys didn't catch her name. By this point, she's gone over to the tank, and there's a man standing outside of it, sort of leaning up against it, drinking from a flask. You see them sort of exchange words, and he just gestures behind him. And she by this point is already climbing up on top of the tank. She set down half of her stuff. She couldn't take all of it with her, but she's taking it all up.
Thank goodness. If Horace turned out to be the driver, things would have got awkward pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'll walk over to the tank. Say, hello, sir. My name is Edward. I will be one of the people accompanying you on this mission. What's your name, sir, if I might have it?
As you come up on this guy, he's knee deep in rum by the look of it, by the look of what's sort of seeping out the corners of his mouth. You're the one that I'm going out in the wasteland with.
Yes, one of them. Have I new guard around town?
No, I've been here for about nearly 10 years now, but I guess it was time they decided they finally wanted to get rid of me. He sort of stands up and turns around and throws his flask up inside one of the open sort of like they're sort of metal blinds, as it were. He throws it inside of the tank. And as he turns around, you can see his entire back is covered in spines, in quills, and in fact he has a large tail as well. He doesn't appear to be a bestial human necessarily, just a mutant of some sort. But he has a large tail that resembles a porcupine tail that also has spines running all the way down it.
You won't be our driver, will you?
Yeah, that's me. My name's Murdoch. And you?
Edward.
Reginald, I say from the back of just a ways off.
And what'd you do? I mean, why? You must have pissed someone off.
Well, it's, you obviously know the rain situation, or rather the lack of it. This whole area needs more water, and, well, we gotta go to gear shift and try our luck, see if we can get some. I'm one of the farmers down the way, by the way. You might know my father, perhaps?
I don't know, man. I try to keep my eyes on my work. He says, sort of patting the side of the tank. But this is really the best this town could muster for this. I mean, assuming it's as important as you say it is, this is the crew that we've got here. He says, looking at the four-eyed farmer, the robot butler with the disillusioned robot butler, and the freakish horror who still I assume has the helmet on, so you're a bit concealed.
I don't see what you mean. We'll do fine. That could be a threat to us.
Sure. I suppose. I mean, I don't mean any offense or anything like it. I mean, well, you know, I'm a mere draftee myself. I wouldn't be out here putting my well, life on the line, as it were. It's more boring than anything else. But I wouldn't be out here of my own volition. Well, those town folk, they don't trust me too much, I guess. I never did anything wrong. It's not like I shot up the place or did anything to anyone, but well, they don't take kindly to well, some parts of me. He says, sort of glancing back at his spines.
Must be
Oh,
your prickly nature.
I know what you mean. My goodness, even on the farm, they just my family. You know, no matter how much we do for these people, they never seem to respect us, mutant kind.
Well, I suppose only time will tell. At least we've got the tank, right? That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
plus.
It's a beautiful machine you got there.
So, yeah, how well does this ancient relic of yours? How good does this thing work? Do you think we can make it all the way to gear shift?
Well, I've never been there myself, so I'm not entirely sure how long it'll take to get there, or necessarily which direction to head, to be honest. Suppose I'll head in the same direction most of the other travelers come in. But, well, she handles, as far as handling, she's pretty nice. As far as firepower, well, resources being what they are, I've never had a chance to really give the gun a spin, to be honest. So should be interesting to say the least.
Well, we got Peabody here. Peabody here is he's a war robot. He should be able to help us a lot with this sort of thing. He must know all about machines.
I'm sorry, a what? A what?
You're a war robot. You know all about machines, right?
Yeah, that could be helpful.
Not a war robot of any sort.
You could probably
The way
fix
you're
it.
getting this information. It's lies
But-
and blasphemy.
By the way he carries himself, I thought he'd be a butler or something. That's great.
I am a
Maybe he
servant.
did stand a chance.
I am a house servant. Nothing to do with wars.
Servant of the battlefield?
No, what is this word battlefield you keep speaking of?
Are you Peabody? Are you certain that you were a servant on a farm? I mean, why would they give you a buzzsaw arm for household chores?
Why wouldn't they? You saw how useful it was when I was cutting bread and cutting up the firewood and telling stories to children. It's all connected.
Oh, wait, that was you that cut down that tree the other day?
Yes.
He pulls out a new flask.
Yeah, maybe not so loud. Horace is right around the corner. Maybe not so loud. But we have Reginald here. Say hello, Reginald. Reginald is a local around here, and well, I'm sure he'll be able to help. Won't you, Reginald?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's nice to be with such sociable folk for a change.
You seem like you're holding back there a little bit, my friend.
I've got a few issues myself, my friend.
A
You know what I
few
mean?
issues.
I imagine Peabody standing there saying this while dripping with oil still. You've got issues. Yeah. I've not been to Gear Shift's place myself, but I have a general idea where it is. In the desert.
He'll be our guy.
I'm
Do you
sorry,
have
I didn't catch your name, friend. I'm talking to John.
My name's Murdoch. You got a shortage in your ears?
Oh, Malchik, that's a great name, but I must warn you that any information you get from this character about cyborgs is bound to be incorrect.
I've had a few
Yes,
bad
well, you'll be able
run-ins.
to help us with the robots then, and the machines.
Yes. Well, this should be interesting either way. Oh God, here we go. He sort of rolls his eyes as he looks up the hill, and coming down the hill, you guys see another mutant, a mutant that perhaps some of you saw walking around the town the other day. He's got cherry red skin. He's just wearing sort of some brown pants that look like they've been made at home or something. Not wearing any shirt at all. He's got long straight blonde hair that's sort of thin and bright light blue eyes. He's got an extra set of arms, and he's got sort of some dark green pus mucus that sort of seeps out of his mouth like drool, and that he wipes away every few seconds. But he has sort of a regal, almost imposing militaristic walk, very straight backed, very proper posture, and his top set of arms is swinging in momentum, and his bottom set is crossed, not angrily, but just relaxed across his stomach.
Why couldn't I get a pair of those? Jeez.
Murdoch, do you know this man?
Yeah, he's the chief of the guards here in town.
Your boss, then.
He seems like a real
I guess. He sort of scoffs at that, but agrees. So
is he coming too?
Murdoch shrugs, and by that point he's walked up. Good morning.
Good day.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Is everything settled then? Are you all ready to undertake this?
Good to go, sir.
I'm ready to go.
Thank you
All
for
right.
letting me in your quaint, beautiful town.
Here you go. He hands you an envelope, and there is simply a letter signed by the mayor of Shamrock about the task that we've commissioned you for. Should anyone give you any grief about it?
I'm going to hand the letter to Edward.
Yeah.
If it comes to negotiation, you're probably the one who wants to be doing it. Looking the least friendly.
Okay. Who
Murdoch,
out of this entire group?
are you drinking? Have you been drinking? Oh man, I'm not drinking. I mean it's me. Would I be drinking? He goes up to him and smells his breath. Irresponsible. Yeah, well, I mean, who else are you gonna get to drive this motherfucker, huh? No one, because no one knows how to drive anymore. I mean, the only other person I've ever met with any driving skill was that one. God, what was that? What was that crazy kid's name? Was it I want to say Billy Bob, but that wasn't it. It was Billy Buck or something. I don't know, but he's the only one I've ever met that can drive. Yes, well, most of us have to work for a living. Most of us aren't privileged enough to go around spending our free time using up precious relic. The drunkard sort of rolls his eyes and begins finishes maintaining his the tank there.
Yes. Well, sorry, I didn't catch your name, sir.
It's because I didn't give it. Bartholomew. I'm the head of the town guard here in Shamrock. Not necessarily by choice, although someone's got to do it, and I've been the only one to live through all the raiders and what have you.
Yes. Well, is there anything else you need then from us? I think we'll probably be on our way soon.
Is there anything else you need from me? I just came down here to see you off, make sure that everything was good. You
No.
have any last words that you wish for me to tell your relatives or significant others? I can take that down for you. Other than that,
It's okay. I'll give my mother a call later.
Call?
It's a mutant thing. Don't worry about it, Edward.
Ah, yes. Very confused. Well, if you wouldn't mind telling my family that if I don't make it back, that I love them and I'm just making my father proud, doing what he did when he was my age, and that I will either return in with lots of fortune or not at all.
he's voraciously trying to scramble this all down on paper, putting his writing
It
skills
doesn't
to
have
the
to be
test.
Bartholomew. It doesn't have to be exact.
Well, I mean, these last words are very, I don't want to be putting any words into any dead person's mouth. This is, if there's anything you're going to get right, it should be that.
Yes, there are better things to put in dead people's mouths. Now, I also have a message, if you could take this down. It begins thus. 11001100111111110011111111001111.
He sort of leans into the two mutants. I might recommend removing his power cell every now and then if he, perhaps it's best if he's just asleep for a while.
Yes, well, there's multiple reasons that we're going to gear shift, not just for the water.
Well then, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So he heads back up the hill, back towards Shamrock.
I'm going to see if I can find the servant girl of Horus.
Sure. So you're gonna go in the tank?
Oh, if she's inside the tank, yep.
Yeah, she is. Cool. So you go in the tank, and the tank is fairly good sized. You find her. She's sort of made one of the cots there her own, as she put shoved some of her cooking supplies and vegetables and notes and such and so on and so forth back amongst cupboards and hidden spaces. Oh, hi. Thanks again. I don't know if I said it enough, but thank you.
Yes. I have two questions. Out of game.
Oh, what was your name?
Out of game, one question. Does she appear? How does she appear? Does she appear to be a regular human?
She appears to be a typical human. She's about average build. She's cute enough. She's kind of pretty, but she's more or less average to look upon. She's got light brown hair, probably a medium to light brown hair. That's fairly long. It's not curly, but fairly wavy. She has a lot of it tied up in a bun.
Yes. What's your name? I didn't get to ask it.
Yes, Charlene. And you are?
Well, I am Edward. You can call me Edward. I have a question for you, just an opinion, if you would. If you could come with me outside the tank, I wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Yeah, it's pretty stuffy in here. Let me just put this away. And she does.
I climb on out, and once I've done so, I kind of point to all of everyone here, and I say, if you had to point at one of us and say the one who looks the least scary, the least intimidating, maybe the most friendly out of this group, who would you pick? Basically, what I'm asking her out of game is I'm asking her, whose appearance seems to be the most, who has the best appearance, basically.
All
The
right.
most
So,
amenable.
so
Who's the least scary? Who's going to be the best negotiator?
sure. So as she looks at this tableau of miscreants, what is well, maybe not miscreants, but as she looks at this strange tableau, what does she see? What does each of you in turn just happen to be doing or looking like at this exact second in time?
This would be an opportunity for me to describe, for us to describe our characters again, naturally.
Sure, yeah.
So right at this time, I grabbed the paper that you had that the guy gave you, Andrew.
Yes.
And he begins like using it to wipe off the excess oil under his armpits and just in general wiping off the excess oil onto the paper.
Body, we need that. Body, give that back.
Let's go. I need this. I'm getting dirty.
I'm not going to rip it from you, but please give it back. We need that for gift.
I'm done with it anyway. He hands you back this soiled, completely translucent piece of paper.
Shake it off a bit. Is that all then?
That's all for me.
When you come back out of the tank, you'll find Reginald. He's sort of like he's took his helmet off a bit so he can get a better look at the tank. His massive floppy ears just flowing down on him. You know, there's all his skin hanging off his face, and his bright red eyes glaring out as he's sort of inspecting the tracks of the tank, looking to see, trying to work out, you know, when's the last time it's been used. You know, he kind of looks at you two while you're talking, and waves, generally happy to be amongst company for a change. It's not his family.
Yeah, I also introduced them in turn. I say, this is Peabody. He is our resident cyborg. This is Reginald. Say hello, Reginald.
Hello.
And when she looks back at me, I have a sort of round face that would look fairly average in general. Maybe a bit of a strong brow ridge, but instead of eyes being right here, he has two pairs of stalked eyes that come out here and two pairs that come off the side of his head. And he has a little bit of it's kind of the beginnings of a scraggly sort of facial hair. And he also, the other noticeable things, those who get within about 5 feet of him notice a kind of horrendous smell emanating from his mouth. It seems like a lot of his, he's missing actually a fair amount of his teeth, and those that are in there seem to be rather rotting quickly. But other than that, his skin seems very pleasant, seems to have this nice little glow about it. That's probably his most attractive feature, is his skin. But other than that, fairly average except for the rotting teeth and the stalked eyes. So.
I forgot to mention my skin is pale grey with tufts of ginger hair at the top of his head.
So, who do you think would be the least scary to a settlement of cyborgs out in the desert?
Oh well. She sort of hesitates as she looks at each one of these strange personages. I suppose if it was a group of cyborgs, that then the robotic one would probably be the best. Although you seem probably the least intimidating.
Well, I'll have to consider it, but we need a spokesperson for this. Maybe I can accompany, when it comes to the time to talk, maybe me and Peabody can go meet with these people. No offense, Reginald. You just,
I'm taken.
well, you are fascinating. How on earth did you survive? I have, one of my sisters was born like you, but she did not survive long, unfortunately, as things often are in.
But believe it or not, I did not start out this way.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe that's why
Well,
I was.
I have to
I was.
ask you some other time, perhaps. We must get going, I think. It's getting late.
It's not a fun tale, unfortunately.
Yes, well,
But I survived.
that's good. Murdoch, you think we can get stuff going?
Man, I've been waiting for this a long time. He says for the first time and looks a bit excited as a sparkle of hopefulness behind his drunken veneer seeps through it as he pulls himself on top of the tank.
Yeah. I seem to be very excited too. I in multiple ways, looking eagerly at the tank to see how this ancient relic works, and uh, also seem to be eager to go.
I'm kind of nervous, but curious to see if it actually will start. It looks pretty old. I mean, almost as old as Peabody. I mean, we both know how he behaves.
Yeah, no kidding.
Does this thing need a power pack like he does?
We developed a fuel for it to run on, something that we created out of the rock here of the city.
Hmm.
Do you know how much how far this thing can go?
Yeah, I also,
Well, there hasn't been any need to use it ever since I've been around. So we've stockpiled quite a bit. We've got as much on there as it can hold. I mean, I think we could probably do about 2, maybe 3 weeks of straight driving.
yes, and if it breaks down, Peabody can repair it.
So he doesn't respond to you. If you look over, he's just like slumped like this.
Peabody, you're right over there. Kind of knock on his head, his metallic head, make a little ding, ding, ding. Peabody. Oh, you're just pouty that you didn't get your oil. That's what you're pouty that you haven't gotten lubricated, isn't it?
He doesn't move at all. He's just like totally still.
Okay, all right. Someone's got to fess up. Who took his power pack? Kind of look back there, see if his power pack is still in place.
Hey, is it Jason?
I'll let you guys decide that.
Maybe it got loose. I kind of shove it more back in there, kind of jam it in there more, wiggle it around. Yeah, that thing gets loose really easy. You gotta watch out about that. You're right there, Peabody. Okay, excuse me.
Sorry, episode.
Does anyone know how to... Murdoch?
Wait, are you telling me that this group of people's falling apart before we even hit the road?
Charlene, correct?
Huh? What?
My friend here, he seems to need lubricating. I apologize for this, but you seem to be most apt for this job. Perhaps you could rub some oil into his joints. Maybe that could get him moving again.
I turn to Murdoch while this is going on. You don't think he's scared to go in a tank, do you?
I've never.
Charlene to the areas. Yes, here and here and right above his what he's calling this a knee. Perhaps there too.
She goes over and just puts it in his mouth and tries to force it down his throat.
So he doesn't even respond. You can tell that the power is probably not. Maybe it's empty. I don't know how these power cells work. Can you just look at them and tell they're empty, or?
Well, your character is probably okay. He might be. I don't know. It depends on what he's using. but different parts of your different mechanical parts of his body would require different would use up certain amounts of power packs for each use. But I'd say probably his main body is working okay.
That's a good point. Maybe it's psychosomatic.
Well, maybe if we walk him, I think I kind of pull him and see if he walks with me. And I assume you do. I assume maybe you're kind of like in a sort of mental Davis scramble, but as I'm kind of pulling you along so that you're walking with me. Charlene, maybe you could just push him along. I think he can walk on his own.
Okay, so he so as you pull him and stuff, he starts to loosen up, but he still looks like he's kind of low on energy.
Yeah. We really do need you to get you to gear shift there. Maybe they would have something we could use to power you.
Is there any way we could juice him up with something from the tank? Could we put some fuel in him? Would that work?
I don't know. Does this tank have any power packs or power cells at all it uses?
We don't have anything like that.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait until we get to gear shift then.
All right. So he starts up the tank, and you guys head out into the desert wastes to find this village.
Yes, lead the way. Lead the way, Reginald.
This one.
I just assume you know where you're going.
You're just idolizing him.
Well, he said that he seems to have these. I don't know. He seems to know these things that.
He has premonitions.
I have no idea how he knows something, so I assume he knows where.
I have traveled a little bit. I've been around a bit.
And my character has not traveled at all. He hasn't traveled more than 5 miles outside of his home, so.
Yeah, there's plenty of work for a logger, wherever there's woods.
Yes, lead the way, Reginald.
Yeah.
We will follow.
I'll navigate via the stars.
So we're in the tank right now, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm riding
go
on
ahead.
top of the tank.
So Peabody's like, no, this isn't the right way to gear shaft at all. It's completely the opposite direction.
Gear shaft is the next town, Peabody.
Gear shaft, yes, that's what I said. We need to turn around and go the exact opposite direction.
No, that takes us back to Shamrock.
Listen, you don't know anything about cyborgs. All you want to do is spread lies and hate.
Do you even know where we are?
We're in a tank.
Do you know where we are? Geography.
Of course I know where we are. We're near Shambhalaya, and we just talked to this man, this nice fellow with the arms, and then the drunkard, and then now we're heading to Gearshaft.
Man, and I thought I was incoherent.
I have a question. Are you guys? Are the rest of you? I'm assuming I'm riding. I'm going to be riding so that I have the turret open and I'm kind of hearing around because I'm very good at actually seeing things from a distance. So I'm kind of riding up in the turret, kind of looking. Where are the rest of you guys?
Yeah, there's room for one person to comfortably to stand in that little turret spot and to have 360 degrees of vision.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to be.
I
With my eyes, I have 360.
So, probably the inside, sat near where the back would be. Just giving the driver and Peabody room, and Charlene probably.
Yeah, Peabody has kind of muscled his way up to where the driver is. Yes, I remember this. This is the Mark 5.7. I know it well. We had one back on the farm. Now, if you'll just give me a spin. Yes, I can handle this.
Friends.
There's no need for you to trouble yourself. I can manage myself. And he reaches for the wheel with his good arm.
Hey, what the heck kind of farm are you talking about, man? Lay off. This is my rig, okay? Well, I mean,
it's the city's rig, but this is my baby. This is all I got. So he's trying to keep the robot off the controls while maintaining them himself.
I kind of bang on the tank. Reginald, keep him quiet in there. Keep him from knocking things around.
The tank's all zigzagging. It's kind of swerving.
So
As much as the
Peabody
tank can swerve.
fought kind of he wasn't expecting such resistance, and he kind of like falls over backwards onto his ass. And he just sits there, kind of forlornly.
I'll help him up. Peabody, you need to let the guy do what he's doing, right?
Wait, listen, I don't need your help getting up. I can get up myself.
Listen, man. Why don't you mellow out a little bit? I don't know if does alcohol still work on you? I mean, you were human, right?
I'm not sure that's a good idea, to be honest, Murdoch.
Yes, alcohol works just fine.
Yeah, here.
I'm just like.
So I don't know what you handed him, but he starts guzzling it, like full-on guzzling.
All right. So we'll end with this party with there for now. You got Peabody's sprung back to life after mysteriously going down for a minute, and now he's getting toasted. And,
He's turning into Bender by small degrees.
That's true.
all right. So, meanwhile, let's cut to the other group. We have Ebony, Billy Buck, and Lou with the caravan of turtle folk. You guys are now in the jungle. We'll cut to the next day too. You guys have already spent a night there. And it's about probably late morning the next day as you guys are making your way through this heavily jungled area through this path with this turtle caravan.
Okay.
What was the name of that dude who came with us? The croc hunter, or whatever he was?
Donovan.
What is it?
Donovan, I believe.
Donovan. Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Well,
Yeah, the Australian dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou, Lou did a couple of interesting things in the morning. I mean, he gets up extremely early because that's what that's what I'm used to doing. So I get up extremely early in the morning, and already I take some of the lizard meat that Billy, got off of the lizard yesterday, and he has it cooking before everyone's even awake, and he serves up breakfast to everyone.
Wee! Something smells delicious.
Yes, here you go, Billy.
Did you make this, pretty boy?
Yeah, well, I do this every morning for the mayor, so can't break routine.
Might have to keep you around.
And I seem to do actually a very good job. I seem to know really how to cook food really well.
Hey, mate, you got any of that wing slasher left? He says, sort of nodding to Billy Buck. You got any of that wing slasher jerky left, man?
I got plenty, man. Tosses you like a bunch of it.
Oh, check this out, man. Slap some of that on here, make a sort of homebrewed sandwich of sorts, Mighty fine.
Sandwich?
Ebony's not an early riser at all, and is extremely pleased, however, to be awoken by food.
Morning, Ebony. And Lou, I come over with a plate of food. Here you are.
Thank you very much, Lou.
Yes.
I think she might need another plate there, man. She might need another 5 plates, in fact.
I bring some over.
Don't bother with the plates. Just give me the food.
Yeah, I just cut off a large section, and just using some gloves, I hand it to him. Oh, careful!
For a small man, Lou, you make Ebony's tummy feel good. This is good. Why'd you let her cook like this?
Well, I've been doing it ever since I can remember.
I mean, this thing, it looks, look, it's cooked, look, meat, good on the inside. I'm not used to
You
that.
do like it that way, right? You don't prefer it raw?
I'll take what I can get. This is good.
Because it is well cooked.
Appreciate it. I'm going to have to watch you, small man. You have interesting talent. I like the idea as well that Lou is probably quite tall in himself. He's probably like 6 or 7 foot. And I'm just towering over him.
Lou is actually
man.
fairly. I can actually describe him a little bit more this time around. I'm going to do a little screen share here, so hopefully this works. Does that work?
Oh wow, he is a pretty boy.
Yeah, he definitely is. And so that's kind of what he looks like. Obviously, the clothing's different. He's wearing his. He's got his armor back on, and yeah, that's basically what he looks like. And he already is smelling good as well. So that's that.
Oi, man, that pretty smelling shit won't get you very far out here, man.
I'm sorry?
You know, all that whole, maintaining yourself, personal hygiene, as it were. It's, well, respectable, of course, but, well, nature doesn't really give a shit about whether you've got dirt under your fingernails or not. It'll eat you up just the same.
Well, I don't care what nature thinks. I'm not doing it for nature's sake. I'm doing it for my sake.
Good, because it does seem a bit unnatural for a man to be so, well, obsessed with his appearance, if you ask me.
Well, you
Come
would
on,
understand if you lived your entire life having to. This is basically my job, is keeping my appearance. And,
You don't cook good breakfast. You okay, in my book.
Oh, so what you're saying is they pay you to be pretty, then? They pay you to have a pretty mouth and to look pretty.
I see in the background. They don't pay me to be pretty. I'm pretty for free.
I kind of, yes, Ebony, you are very pretty for a mare. But yes, indeed. Actually, that is exactly what I am paid for. You hit it straight on the nose. That's what I do.
Well, I suppose that I can respect that. I mean, you gotta make sure you make ends meet, and if that's how you do it, then that's how you do it.
Why is there a problem if I'm out in nature wearing fragrant stuff? I confess I don't deal much with the woods. I stay mostly to the city.
Oh well, you know, I'm sure it's on a case-by-case basis. I'm sure it might attract some unwanted attention, but well, it may just discourage a bunch of attention just as likely. I haven't done a lot of field testing with perfumes out in the boonies, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Well, hope you all are enjoying your breakfast. Got some. With the remainder, I'm going to just make it basically into jerky. I'll smoke it and store it, whatever's left, and then I'll pack up stuff in the site. I don't have a tent of my own, so or a sleeping bag or actually anything.
No, pretty boy. You ain't smoking nothing. I'll tell you what. You give away our position, and I'll ghost you, motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
You heard me. You aren't smoking no meat. We don't need no smoking. I'll just go hunt. We gonna eat fresh. We don't want to give away our position sitting off smoke.
Oh, but Barry,
Yes.
this stuff tastes good.
Okay. Well, I will defer to your wisdom. I'm sure you know more than me.
That's right.
So it's about that time Ebony's ears pick up the sound of something in the distance, but not too far away.
Cousin of yours, Ebony.
do I recognize the call? Can I differentiate between like
Uh,
black bear, white bear, like polar bear, or
It's not a bear. It's not a bear call. It sounds like an herbivore of some sort.
Can I smell anything?
more of a cousin Lou, I would say. We should probably check
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah,
You want to go hunting?
the two of you smell what smells like cow shit.
Hmm. Would we know like what it's coming from, or it's just we don't know that it just smells like manure?
Yeah, sure. I'll say that since you have an irregular nose and Ebony being a bear, you guys know that it comes from a bovine of some sort.
Okay.
Probably a great horn, as they're known in the Mutant Epoch.
We should check it out, Billy.
You stay here. I'll go
What do you
check
think?
it out.
Yes, well, I'll pack up the camp. Have it all ready for you when you get back.
We don't want to hurt any
Alright.
turtle men.
You just don't make no noise, pretty boy.
Where are you guys getting off to? The turtle female, who has sort of an perpetual attitude, asks when she sees you guys.
I'm gonna
don't-
go find out what that is out there.
Doing my job, turtle woman.
Is she kind of the leader of this group? Just out of curiosity.
No, by no means. The turtle people, well, they operate a bit differently than humans do. For one thing, it doesn't seem like they have names or really value individualization or anything like that. That's perhaps maybe some of the reptile coldness coming out in them, or maybe it's just due to their bestial nature. At any rate, it seems as though they operate on a primarily seniority basis, and like I said, most of these turtle folk are fairly apathetic, and although not necessarily in a bad way, and easygoing. Although this female seems to be sort of a spark plug and be perhaps the most creative thinker of the bunch, but she sort of is the one to stir the pot and raise the most questions. And she's also a bit faster than the rest of them. Maybe she's a bit more human than the rest of them.
Well, I'm gonna pick her basically out. I mean, my human mind doesn't understand their cultural ways, so I kind of pick her out as the leader, and I say, "Yes, what's your name?"
Oh, we don't have names.
Okay. Yes. Well.
We refer to those that are important by what they have done. Most of us never attain that status. Can you? I don't know if you have trouble differentiating us from each other.
Hmm.
We don't. That's.
I will call you Sparky. So, Sparky, I would like for you to go back to your turtle people and say that there's no trouble. It's just these two are going to go check out a noise that they heard. They'll be back very soon. In the meantime, you can start packing up all of your gear and have it ready for them. Be ready to go by the time they get back.
Are you sure I shouldn't go with them?
No, they
Is it something they're trying to hide?
No, they're quite the team. It sounds like it's some sort of animal of some sort.
Well, then certainly the more people that were in with them, the better the chance to take it down would be. You people are strange. She says as she sort of wanders back.
Okay, see you later, Sparky.
You're probably just left more confused than you were to start.
Pretty much. I'm just whatever. Just as long as they're not causing trouble, I'm fine with whatever.
Yes, they have a very simple culture, but it is a bit baffling, at least for our norms or your character's norms, at any rate. So the two of you sort of just are going to cut through the thick of this jungle and follow this smell.
like I've said before, Billy, 8 out of 9 times, Ebony hears a boar. It's a boar. 1 out of 9 times, it's a bandit. Always best to check.
Yeah, I second that. Here's what. How about this? Straight up, I'm gonna follow these tracks here.
Mm-hmm.
You work your way around and give it the old raptor. We're gonna find out what this is.
That's what I like about you, Billy. Crafty. Ebony's stealth.
So you see him pull out this big ass knife. It's the eponymous Billy Buck knife.
Well, you brought a knife to a bear fight, son.
So he's not pulling it out for you. He's just pulling it out, and he like runs the blade along his tongue. He's like, "Let's get this on!" And he charges off into the woods.
Stay safe, you two.
I just grin as I stealth off into the forest.
Ebony enters stealth mode.
Still moving.
So you guys.
I'm nearly as tall as a tree, which is kind of funny as I'm trying to just...
Right?
Yeah. You're massive.
So well, maybe it's more tramping and lumbering through the forest, especially the bear being prone to dizziness. At any rate, you guys come through the thicket, and it's not long before, of course, following the smell, it's not long before you come to a bit of a clearing there in the forest where there's a meadow of sorts, not a big one at all, maybe 2.5 acres big, and there's a little creek that's sort of running through it, and dining on this grass is indeed some cattle of sorts, albeit mutated cattle. They are the great horns. There are 3 males. There are not 9 in total. There are 3 males, 4 females, and a few calves there. The males all have 4 horns that almost are like braided together, sort of intertwined. The 2 on each side, and they have almost. You're not quite sure if it's scaly. It looks almost more like rough spots, like built up calluses or something. But they have some sort of hard scales on their back and on their hump, assumably for protection. The females look similar to the males, although their horns are about the quarter the size, not nearly as long and as imposing. And yes, these gentle creatures are sort of just there feasting on the grass, and as you two come up, one of the bulls raises its head and looks about in sort of one of the other directions, and then continues eating. They don't seem to be aware.
Okay, well, I don't know where is Ebony? Is he there too, or
She.
she? I mean, yeah.
Am I close by? Am I like...
Oh, I'll just work my way back to you, and I'll tell you, they aren't worth our time. Just a bunch of cattle. We already done eating. We got to get moving now.
What about lunch?
We'll figure something out, but I don't really want to stop right here. We got some of that meat left from the kill. We'll make Pretty Boy carry it.
That's good. Was the cattle belonging to anyone? Human?
Yeah.
Otherwise?
Did I see anyone? Would I know? I don't know, John. No?
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to paint the picture, you guys have seen what I've said that you've seen. If you want to add some details to the scene that would make sense, go for it.
Well, I have a 1 in tracking. Can you tell me? Should I roll to see if I found anyone else's tracks in the area?
Sure.
So how does this work? Do I just roll D100 or?
Yeah, it'll be a percentile-based roll. What is your perception?
It's just a 26, I suppose.
Yeah, roll a D100. Don't tell me what you got though. I gotta look it up. All right, what was your perception again? I'm sorry.
It's 26.
Okay. And did you roll a 52 or lower?
Yes, I did.
Cool. Um, so yes, you do indeed see a single pair of different tracks that are just as fresh as the cows there. And what do these tracks look like?
Um, you're asking me.
Yeah, yeah, they can be. I mean, whatever.
There's some kind of other mutated thing. I don't think it's anything he's seen before particularly. It looks heavy.
Okay. Yeah, it looks heavy, and a lot of these footmarks are sort of dragged through lines through the dirt.
Hmm. So I'm gonna try and follow the tracks and see. I'll signal to Billy to stay put, and I'm gonna try and follow these tracks and just see if I can find who made them stealthily.
Okay. I'll get my my combo and crossbow out just in case. Cover his rear from behind a tree.
Sure. So you follow these strange, shambling sort of large footmarks, and eventually it leads you to sort of the around the perimeter of this meadow and around about the other side of it. And sitting there, you see you don't have to make another track roll because it's not far away at all, and they're fresh. You see down at the other end of this meadow where it sort of comes to a point and ends, where the forest takes over again. You see near the end of that point one of these cattle, a dead one, laying there outside. You know it's dead because there is someone feasting on its corpse directly, like the abominable snowman from Star Wars style. He's feasting direct from the rib cage directly of this. It looks to be a normal person more or less, albeit with sort of dark gray, almost yellow, kind of sickly skin. At least from behind this person is feasting on this bovine that's now dead. It looks like it was not a calf, but an immature one of the smaller, weaker ones.
Okay. Um, let's see here.
It's bipedal and it's wearing clothes, although they're sort of tattered and torn. Although the voracious way that it's ripping open this stomach and just pulling out with its bare hands and teeth these organs and munching them down raw has a very animalistic look to it.
I'm gonna go back and ask and talk to Ebony. Tell him what I saw.
All right, let me make a perception roll for this guy.
All right.
Quick. Okay. All right, so you go back to Ebony.
Yes. So I tell him what I saw, and what do you think we should do?
Visiting a predator. We should stop it before we become its prey.
Well, he looked like he was, got enough food there, keep him busy for a while.
But what happens when he runs out of food?
Well, I think we'll be long gone. I'm not too worried about him. I'm more worried that if we piss him off, we don't know what this sumbitch is capable of. I just don't know. I know what I'm capable of, and that's kicking some ass, but don't want to stir up no problems if we don't need to.
Ebony's seen you crawl out of some heavy fights. You could take anything, Billy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know,
Ebony, make a perception roll, Ebony. And what is your perception?
25.
Okay.
Do I have to get under 25? I'm guessing.
Get no, that correlates to a table here. Go ahead and get 58 or under. Did you roll?
are you asking me?
No, Ebony.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe he cut out.
Yeah. So there. Are you back, Matthew?
I don't know. I can't see any of you guys.
Huh.
Are you dead?
We could see you, sort of.
I can just see myself. That's weird. Sorry, I'm trying to reconnect. It's just it just dropped on me for some reason.
Huh.
I don't know why. Right, well. Oh, cool. Rejoin, guys. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that.
No, yeah, no fault of your own. So get 58 or under on your percentile roll will be a success.
I got 49.
Great, successful. So you, as Billy's standing there, I know what I can do. I can kick some ass. You see, in fact, the very figure that he described standing there with complete silence and stillness in the forest, just about 3 or 4 yards from behind Billy. Suddenly it lurches forward with almost inhuman strength and speed, while looking hungrily at Billy's neck from behind. You see this.
What did you say? Did he jump? Sorry, I missed the last part of that.
He veers forward with inhuman strength to looks like take a bite out of Billy.
Do I have time to shoot with my crossbow because I still had it out?
Yeah, you had it. You said you had it out, so that's fine.
Can I try and take a shot and hopefully Billy does not think I'm shooting him?
Yes, sir.
Bandit Brothers for life.
Let me see. And what is your accuracy?
18.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So get a 46% or less for success.
Okay. 49. Oh, so close.
49.
Yeah.
So sure enough, this bolt comes whoosh, whizzing by Billy Buck's head, and as it does, you can hear it hit a tree behind. I assume obviously Billy is going to look and see what it is, and yeah, you see this creature or person, whatever it is now nearly upon you. You're nearly within its grasp as it's about to fall upon you. It looks like it was at one point maybe, or at least came from a normal human. It doesn't seem particularly mutated or anything other than the color of its skin, which is sort of an off gray, almost jaundice kind of yellow, and its mouths and eye sockets are purple, and it smells horrific as it leans in to do its worst upon you.
Okay, I'm going to. I don't have time to go for my shotgun, so I'm just going to try and brawl with it.
Sure.
This is going on. I'm sort of slowly going, Billy.
All right. And what is your how many in brawl do you have?
2.
Okay, and what's your strength?
89.
Oh, wow. All right, go ahead and make your roll. I'll do a roll to contest it here.
What does the 2 do for me? I'm just curious. I don't remember that.
I think it's a rank. It's like a rank thing. Like having 2 in something gives you a better bonus.
Yeah, what is this you're using? What skill is this?
Brawling.
You would have to look it up under the skill. I can do that quick.
Okay, I rolled a 48 is what I rolled.
You're 48, and what is your strike value?
Yeah, I rolled a 48. My SV I have down here.
You get +5 to your SV when you do brawling for your skill.
+5, so 55, I suppose.
That sounds about right.
So, and what was your roll? Were you successful? Were you within it?
Am I trying to roll under?
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to roll under.
Yeah, I did roll. I rolled a 48, so I got it.
Okay. And he failed his roll too. So yes, you succeed, and this thing comes in with its inhuman strength and manages to pin you on the ground. But it's only for a split second before you use that very momentum to switch the tables on him and get this thing on the ground right as it's coming into. You can feel its teeth. It's horrific dead breath as its teeth come in to puncture your flesh right before bam you manage to slam this thing down on the ground.
You trying to get fresh with me, you son bitch? Leaning in for a kiss? I don't think so. Get your ugly mug off of me. So, okay.
So obviously this thing is struggling with you because why would it not?
Yeah, how far away are you, Ebony?
I'd say I'm probably within 10 feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
considering that she's 10 feet tall, she could get most places in a short period of time.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if I should use my agony sphere, but that would definitely take you out as well.
Oh, would it?
How about I don't know where we're at in terms of actions and things, but I also will use my paralysis tendrils when I get my next opportunity. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Sure. Let's roll initiative at this stage because that was sort of an ambush, as it were, a failed ambush. So
Okay.
that was all simultaneous. But between you three, let's all roll. Oh, you got 8.
I got a 6.
Oh, for Lou as well?
No, not Lou. I meant those two and NPC.
I just roll a d10. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then I add my.
Initiative mod if you have it.
I don't think I do. I roll a 6.
What'd you get, Ebony?
6 as well.
All right, he got an 8. So. Yes, this creature unfortunately has seems to have incredible strength and manages to break free one of its wrists from your grasp and slash with these unholy, horrific, atrocious nails. It digs deep into your abs and scrapes across drying blood as it does. Take away 9 from your endurance, or just mark. Well, don't permanently take it away, but mark it down. That's how damage works in this game. You roll for your damage, and then whatever it is, you subtract
that from their endurance. Once your endurance reaches 0, you're pretty much done, unless you can be stabilized immediately.
I've
Maybe.
got a lot of health in that case.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, rightly so. I mean, you're as big as 3 normal people.
Ebony!
I'm coming, Billy.
Yeah. So now, yeah, you guys scored the same on your initiative. So you can it's simultaneous, or whoever wants to go can go. But yeah, you've managed to maybe Ebony, if anything, should go first because you did manage to get raked across your core.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm putting away my crossbow and pulling out my spear. At the same time, if I can, I'm bellowing out a roar. Rah! Well, that sounded pretty camp. to alert the camp. To see if I can get assistance. I'm sure Donovan wants to shoot this thing. And Lou, he might come help. You never know.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna try. My intention is to use my spear to just kind of skewer the thing.
Okay, you don't have to roll for that. I mean, it's held down on the ground. So, even though it began to break free, it's not going anywhere. All you have to do is put your thing down on it. So, if you choose to do that, you choose to do that.
Yep. Hopefully, when Billy Buck's not underneath it.
This thing fades away almost freakishly quickly. It seems like this thing almost goes into a dormant stage as it writhes in pain and then just sort of closes its eyes and freezes.
You okay down there, Billy?
I think so. I don't know what just happened.
I think it's dead. Could you check?
Yeah, I'll check. He still has his knife in his hand. He plunges it into its forehead.
I was gonna he's gonna quit to that. I knew exactly where I was going soon as that.
So yeah, he plunges the knife into the thing's forehead, up to the hilt. Yep, it's dead.
I'm gonna pull my spear loose.
So I push this thing off me and just kind of get up. He's actually a little startled still. He tries not to show it, but
You sure showed that thing a lesson, Billy.
Do I hear that? Was anyone who's in the camp able to hear that sound of the big bellowing bear? By the way.
Yeah, you guys heard the roar, and Donovan quickly leaped up, as did what did you decide to call her? Sparks.
Sparky.
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 Sparky and Donovan both have leapt up, and headed that direction.
I grab my. Everything's now by this point packed up, so I grab my bow and start heading in that direction, letting Donovan lead the way, of course. Oh, they got themselves into trouble. Of course they would. Go check out some cows, and they have to deal with this.
so when after Billy brushes himself off, he just starts kicking this thing, like laying into his boot. You son bitch! You think you can come out of the woods like that and pull the drop on us? You better think again. So he's just like going berserk on this, kicking it to a pulp, pretty much. So if you want to stop him, you probably should act now.
Well, that is the scene that that Lou and Donovan and Sparky come up on. They see you talking smack to this creature as you lay into it with your combat boots.
Lou, Billy, Ebony, what happened? What is that thing?
Went looking for cows. Found strange man. Killed man. I'm really upset.
Billy, are you hurt?
Yeah, motherfucker, take that!
Billy, and I
he
kind of
doesn't-
walk up to him, and I see he got raked across. Didn't someone get?
His abdomen, but he's not facing you right now. He's
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah. He doesn't even notice you. He's so into his whatever he's doing.
His adrenaline is running high.
Yeah. He lets out a rebel yell and
kind of I kind of move around to see if either of them are injured in any way.
I look beautifully black and majestic as usual.
You're good, Ebony.
Not scratching me. I'm cleaning off the speed though. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest, Lou. I thought that thing had more fight in it. But look at it.
I kind of circle around to see if I can see any injury on Billy. Do I see anything on you, Billy?
Yeah, you see like some claw marks on my abdomen through my armor, I suppose, or whatever.
Billy, stop! You're gonna make it worse. You got a big across the chest.
Yeah! Who's the boss now, motherfucker? And he just keeps on going.
Okay, well, Billy grabs him by the shoulders. Billy, stop! I need to see to that wound.
Get off of me, pretty boy!
I'm kind of like, I'm not actually really that strong. I don't know how strong Billy is, but
He knocks you back pretty good.
easily.
And he gets down on the ground and he's just laying into this thing with his fists now. Like he's on it, with his knees over, on it. He's just pound. There's like nothing left at this point.
Well, Billy, man, chill out, man. You want the fight.
Finally, he's just like exhausted, and he just kind of stumbles off of it, wipes the sweat off of his brow, and just like kind of just stumbles.
Yeah. Well, at this point, once he's settled down a little bit and he's kind of sitting, or at least like kind of leaning over, I reach into my pack and grab out some sort of bag of some sort that kind of smells kind of weird, and grab a bunch of these sort of vials of stuff. I'm going to see what I can do, Billy. Just hold still. I kind of start grabbing some bandages, well, kind of like cloth that's in there, and some of this strange liquid in valve in these vials, and assuming he doesn't struggle against me.
So first, what he does when you like first reach for him, he like at first he doesn't notice what you're doing, and then he sees your hand, and his hand like whips out and grabs yours like this, and he just catches it, and he just looks at it, and then he like looks up at your face, and then he just like slowly lets go, but it's like instinctual.
I'm kind of stunned there for a second and don't really, kind of just look down at where you put your hand and say, okay, now if you hold still, I'm going to try putting this on you. It'll sting a little bit, but it'll feel better for it. So I'm putting some stuff on. It doesn't really, if anyone knows about any sort of medical stuff, it doesn't look like any sort of medicine you've seen. And actually, the stuff he puts on you, on the wound, actually kind of smells pretty good. It has a sort of tingling sensation as it's rubbed on. So I kind of rub this stuff on, this liquid on, and then I put kind of cloth bandage gently across your torso.
That's some good stuff there.
Should feel better in a day or two. Just don't itch it. Don't mess with it.
What exactly did you just put on me?
It's kind of a salve. I use it for, for those who need it. Don't really seem to elaborate on that.
You don't need to go into the details of what you use it for. I have a pretty good idea.
Yes. Well, I don't think you do, honestly.
So this is what happens, huh? This is what you broke away from us for, huh? To go get jumped by some crazy person?
What happened? What'd you do?
No, that's not what happened at all, son. We was ambushed. This was a setup.
Ebony was tasked to guard Caravan. Ebony takes proactive approach to guarding. I went off and found trouble first.
Well, they got a good point there. Perhaps it's better to handle this thing sooner rather than later, if you know what I mean.
I reached down to the turtle girl and sort of say conspiratorial. Billy, he gets like this sometimes. Once at the siege of Alcott, he started a bar fight with the rival gang over a bee sting. No one even saw the bee, but he just started swinging, and things got messy.
He sounds like a liability.
He's a good man, mostly.
After
Well,
I'm done putting the bandage on, I actually look really angry at both of you, but particularly at Billy. The next time something like this happens, you call immediately.
Call? What you talking about? Pull out my mobile device and ring up your face?
You have Ebony call out, and we'll come sooner.
I don't need you coming sooner. We took care of the situation. If you didn't notice.
Yeah, well, there could have been more. There could have been more.
To be fair, Lou,
Know about it.
it kind of snuck up on us. I saw a sheepish look on a massive bear's face.
Yeah. Well,
It kind of got the drop
I'll
on us.
call you. I'll tell you what. I'll call you when I need my feet rubbed. How's that?
You mammals are so strange.
by the way,
What is Donovan?
Seem to be human?
Yeah.
Donovan seems to be human.
Okay.
Yeah, he.
Well, that's about as
he
good.
pretty
I
much.
love that non-answer.
Yeah, he for all intents and purposes he looks normal. You know, he wears what you might expect him to, a black hat with a little thing around it, and he's got a vest and some jeans on. He wears boots, skin boots. He's got some tattoos, but nothing gang related by the look of it. And he's got dark hair and sort of a perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. Although of course now as the days increase, it becomes darker and more full.
Well, I'm only asking you, Billy, to be more careful next time.
Rah, he just grumbles.
Well, we all have our strengths, man, and well, no offense to you, Billy Buck, but I'm not sure if caution is one of Billy's virtues, if you know what I mean. But I mean, we could. Sometimes we need a bit of chaos, especially on our side.
You sure do smell nice, Billy.
I always smell nice.
So, Billy, mechanically,
What is this? Now everyone's smelling nice. You've got your blood that smells like some lavender flower or something. You've got this stuff rubbed on you, and you've got your own perfume. What is this?
Oh yeah, by the way, my
Stop.
blood is turquoise. Not that that's important.
Are you sure this isn't just a mission to go sell your perfume products to these turtle folk? That would be quite anticlimactic.
This is usually only for my own personal use, but well,
Ebony's a legitimate caravan guardsman and always has been.
out of character though, Jason, you're
Yes.
going to be healing 1 extra point when you rest because of what I put on.
Okay.
Just side note.
Well,
Donovan, have you
yeah.
ever seen anything like this before? I'm not used to
Never
these words.
That?
Oh. Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. I'm a bit afraid to get too close. I don't want to pick up some sort of radiation or anything like that, and any sort of strange disease. Well, this creature does seem pretty sickly. Can't imagine that this is a natural creature or a natural state that it's in. I've never seen anything like it before.
I turtle Lou. How about you?
You kidding? No, of course I've never seen anything like this.
Was it capable of speech?
I don't know, but it tried to put the moves on me.
In a manner
Capable
of
of
speaking,
trying to be a pervert.
Oh, that's rich coming from you, mate.
Hey, I never force myself on nobody.
Oh, fair enough. I've heard about what you did in the town. You may not lay into girls with your flesh, but you have no qualms about laying into them with some steel.
I don't know what you're referring to, mate.
Hey, man, you got nothing to be ashamed of here. I don't well, let's not lie. We all judge. I judge just like everyone else. But I can respect a man with a certain taste for violence, especially if he's on my team, as it were. All those city folk don't really know about the true joys of roaming the wilderness, countrysides, the forests, the rivers, the deserts, finding what you may, going up against Mother Nature and coming out on top. Well, not every time, but more often than not. You may find that in one season out here you could live more than those folks that spend their entire lifetime in the safety of their cities. Of course, you may also die 5 minutes after you step foot in the forest.
Tell us what you know about these forests.
Well, I've been coming out here to hunt for quite some time now, he says as you guys are making your way back to the caravan. My father taught me everything I know about the place, everything I know about hunting, tracking, the forest, well, virtually everything. Last winter, I lost him out here.
You lost him. Why, he wandered off? He got senile or something?
Oh, you nunce, he was fucking taken down. Well, old bastard didn't die fighting, and I can guarantee you that the beast died before he did, but I have a bit of medical knowledge, most of it just survival stuff, but I wasn't able to keep the old man alive for longer than a couple days. Not long enough to get back to society anyways. And unfortunately the rest of our group had perished earlier that season, so that was that. I made it out by myself with, well, I was poorer than I when I went out in the forest, both in wealth and in friends and family, but suppose that's the way the chips fall sometimes. Well, since then I don't really have the means to keep doing a private work, so I turned to the city of Shamrock, and of course they're in need of hunters. Well, to be honest, about a little over half of my wares and tears, furs and meat went to Shamrock anyway, but now I work explicitly for them on contract. Unfortunately, most of the men they send out with me, well, men and women, aren't really cut out for the work and don't fare too well. This forest is a dangerous place, man. That's about all I can tell. Well, I mean, I could tell you lots about lots of specific things, but year by year, this place has never ceased to amaze me. There's an abundance of life in it, for better or worse. It seems as though just about any creature and life form can thrive within its bounds, but by the same token, it's survival of the fittest if ever there was. You'll find many a strange thing here. That's to be certain.
So just how much do you know? How experienced are you in survival?
Well, like I said, I'm a man of decent age. You know, he appears to be about 33 or so. I usually try to hold my tongue a bit. I don't want to, well, certain people are prone to getting certain perceptions, although out here I suppose we can't afford those sorts of things, but well, when I say my father, I wasn't exactly born from a mother like your average person might be, you see.
What do you mean?
Ebony's black eyebrows are raising ever so slightly.
Well, he's my father because I was created from him. A whole lot of us were created from him. He was the ideal hunter. Well, at least that's the way some scientists saw it. A man by the name of Lord Amber. Well, from what I understand, he cloned my father's genes and made more like him. Of course, we're not all identical by any means, but there are general consistencies to us, for all of us. And, well, I mean, I'm a human. There's nothing strange about me, but I was made of science, not of nature, which, now that I think about it, I suppose that's a bit of an irony that I always strive to be in the midst of nature now. But as the way the chips fell, from what I understand, they were, well, at least planning on using us as a military force of sorts. Obviously, our hunting skills being the primary asset, but also used for military purposes. None of that's of any concern now. I'm, well, just as normal as any of you.
It's of great concern to me. I need to know what your skills are, boy.
Lou looked
Well,
very interested by this, but
I mean, I'm not really one to toot my own horn, so I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But I do reckon I'm the best that Shamrock has to offer in regards to knowledge about the forest and hunting. I mean, that is why they sent me along, after all. If there's anything I know anything about, it's hunting, and it's these parts. Well, not to say I know it like the back of my hand. You understand, this forest is sprawling and changes day by day, let alone the seasons that make certain parts of it inaccessible or highly unfriendly. Found that out the hard way. I've learned more don'ts than do's in my time, that's for sure. There's lots of things that can go wrong out here, and few that can go right.
Well, that's a touching story, but what I want to know is how long it's going to take us to get through this place.
Oh, well, I've never been to the Turtle Village or whatever they call it. I suppose they don't have a name for it if they don't name the people. What is it, Sparky? How far is it to your little humble abode? It's several days' journey, but by this time you guys have returned to the caravan and the rest of the turtles who have packed up all the stuff from breakfast and are beginning to continue the journey. Well, there are a couple ways that we could go. There's one way that'll have us there in 2 days' time. Although I don't imagine many in the party will be willing to take it. What is that you're going on about there, girl? One of the other turtles sort of takes note of her. Listen, if we take the route, it'll be faster. I mean, I know we're pressed for time, but it's never woke up this early, and I think that if we hurry up and make it, we'll be fine. They'll save time, resources. It's too dangerous. We go the long way. It may take an extra 10 or 12 days, but it could spare the lives of us all. It could also run the risk of us running into more denizens of the jungle. That thing is best left alone. It's best to take our chances going the long route and bringing whatever it may.
well, I'd like to know what choices we have. You need to explain to us what our choices are, so we can all make a decision as a group. Because you'll find that it's Ebony and it's Billy Buck who are the ones who are covering your guys' asses. So we need to know what we have coming up ahead and what choices we have to make.
Ebony's especially interested in the part you mentioned, waking up what?
Yeah, man, why don't you shed a bit of light on the situation, huh? This tired old turtle begins. There's a creature which dwells in a cave within the jungle. A savage beast of immense size and power. It slumbers through the colder months, but begins to stir every year around this time.
Cousin of yours, Ebony.
Oh, you mean this? Billy pulls up his boot, shows you the offal or whatever is on, the dried remnants of the blood.
What? What is? Oh, that smells horrible.
Yeah, we met your pal out in the woods. Made short work of him.
I don't think that was the creature of which we speak. None have lived after encountering the creature.
You're talking about Ebony, aren't you?
Not all bears live in caves, Lou. But it's possible.
None of us knows what the creature looks like exactly, but rest assured it does exist. I've had a brother and 2 cousins killed by it.
It hunts your people?
What's that?
It hunts your people? Or just...
It doesn't seem to wish to venture too far from its home, so generally we can avoid it if we just take long ways around different paths. It hasn't ever set off and attacked our village or tracked us or anything.
Ebony does not mind either way. If thing attacks caravan, I'll kill it.
So none of you have actually seen it and lived, is what you're saying. None of you know how large or what this creature looks like or anything of that nature, correct?
No, none of us know, but I can attest myself. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure that it is out there. I've seen I've seen what it can do. I've seen its handiwork, and it's not pretty. But we've never had any reportings of it being active this early. I'm sure that we could slip by unnoticed.
What do you think,
Well,
Billy?
I'm leaving this up to you two. You're the fighter. You're the big brawlers of this group.
You want to know what I think? I think you's a dumb motherfucker for waiting till this point to tell us about this thing.
I didn't know about it, Billy.
Not you. That carapace-shelled motherfucker over there.
If I went through a laundry list of all the things that we should fear out here, we'd stand here talking about it all year without going anywhere. There are many things that are dangerous out there, and this one is not going to be one that is relevant for us, for we take the other path. No, we're not going to take the other path. We can't afford the resources. And a couple of the other turtle folk begin to talk amongst themselves about which way is the best to take.
Eeny,
So-
meeny, miny, mo.
Well, the way I see it, we can go the long way and take our chances. Maybe take about a week and a half longer. May run into who knows what else along the way, or we can go the short route and try to get there quicker. Although we may be putting all our eggs in one basket if this thing is really as bad as they make it out to be.
Did they give us a timetable for when we need to accomplish this, John?
They did not.
No, we didn't.
The other group has a timetable, just in the sense that they're more running on a specific amount of supplies, and they're in the desert. But you guys were not given any sort of time limit, and you guys, well, it's assumed that in the jungle, and especially going to their home, you'll have more chances to, find things to eat and drink and whatnot.
In fact, from the perspective of the mayor and my character, the longer the better, actually, because we don't want you guys in town. That's the whole point of this expedition.
But that is a week longer that Lou spends in the
Yeah, I know.
forest.
I gotta say, for my 2 cents, I'm although I don't like to flirt with danger by any means, contrary to popular belief, this legend does intrigue me a bit, and if it is real, I'd like to test my steel against it, especially with a couple of seasoned warriors such as these, or not so seasoned, he says, looking at the 17-year-old.
Well, the sooner I'm back, the better, honestly. So I say the short route.
If
If
Lou fights like he cooks breakfast, he'll be fine.
No.
Listen, there ain't nothing in these woods I'm scared of, but I don't know that's really my concern right now.
There
I
ain't too
got I
big.
got commitments back in this village. I got a date coming up, and I don't.
Wait a minute, man. You got what? A date?
Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that? You don't think I can get a date on my own? Is that what
No,
you're
I
trying
don't
to
got a
say?
problem with that, man. I think that's terrific for you. But I'm just scratching my head a bit. You see, what the bloody hell kind of date would take precedence over this? I mean, you're getting balls deep out here, man.
I get balls deep everywhere I go, son.
I'll bet you do.
But you ain't seen this catch.
Well, why don't you describe her a bit? I'll paint a picture in our pretty heads. There's nothing else to look at out here. Sorry, Sparky and Ebony, but
Well, to be
I mean,
honest, I don't know if it was a he or a she, and it don't quite much matter. She, it, he, it's all the same to me. But I, 10 feet tall, scales. The deepest purple eyes you ever seen, looking into the sunset. That's what that's like.
I'm just laughing. This is hilarious.
you got
Really, is that your standards?
And tentacles that would do things to you, boy, you ain't never done experienced.
you got a bit of an exotic taste, huh?
I like to think I got a high taste, high profile taste.
Oh, a very sophisticated palate, huh?
That's right.
Sophisticated sexual palate.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can respect that. I'm more of a layman myself. Just stick to the traditional things, I suppose. No need to mess with perfection, huh?
Layman, laywoman, as long as you get laid, it's all good.
Well, man, you're certainly entertaining. I'll give you that much. Perhaps when we get back into town, you can introduce me to some certain circles. You understand? When I am in town, I do like to relax.
I could arrange that. What's your character look like as far as his appearance?
Donovan?
Yeah, has he got a high or low appearance?
Let me look. I mean, I know what it is in my head, but I do have his stats. So, he was actually the first character that I rolled, the first NPC I rolled. He has an appearance of 26, so he's slightly above average.
Okay.
Yes, a little, but that's really good considering like he's a jungle man covered in scars and dirt and whatnot.
That's true. He's got those rugged good looks.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee charm.
We'll just say I blow you guys out of the water with an 80.
Holy hell! You have an 80?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I am, as I said, I am celebrity.
I didn't know that.
Like, I'm above celebrity. I look like almost too perfect. Like there's something
Manufactured?
that's really strange that I look that good. But
Almost like a mannequin or something.
not quite like that. I mean, just perfect and almost. I'm not even being like hyperbolic. Like really, just perfect in so many different ways.
Or like a doll.
That good all the time as well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I guess so.
Like a male Barbie doll or something.
Except not unattractive. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, what do you reckon? What do you reckon we should do, mates? They seem pretty indecisive here. Should we cut through the quick way or take the long way?
We're taking this quick way. None of this bullshit cutting around.
I agree. Quicker the better.
All right. It seems as though we'll have something interesting on our hands. As the players take the bait. No, I'm just kidding. I really have no clue what's going to happen. Well, I have a clue, but I'm always surprised. I've already been surprised this session, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the caravan, then, you guys by this point have got to the Y in the road, and you take the left side, which is assumably the more direct route to the Turtle Village.
I guess the turtle's not happy with this.
Not particularly. A couple of the elders seem a bit nervous, a bit precarious. A couple even heave these really long sighs, but they go, and not even really too begrudgingly, for they are truly pretty reptilian in the sense that they're fairly apathetic, most of them. Some of them aren't thrilled about it, to be certain, but just as many are intrigued or don't really care, and they don't really give you grief for it at any rate.
Keep your nose on standby, Ebony.
Go to Billy.
So along the way, I kind of, I'm kind of chatting a little bit. So I know you two met. Do you mind my asking how exactly you met in the past? I'm gotta let me in on this. I'm curious.
Yeah, let's do a flashback. Let's do a flashback to the first time that you guys met, or met like with any real meaning to it. You guys can paint and can set up the scene or do whatever.
No, Joe. I told you, Joe. Joe, I don't do bears. They're too furry.
Listen, I've got business is tight, huh? We not too many people come through these doors offering their services. I mean, come on, Billy. You're 13 years old, and I'm letting you do this. You take what you can get, you know.
He just kind of like.
You said you like danger. Do you not like a bit of danger and excitement?
Danger's one thing. Having my head ripped off's another.
Well, you've abused substances while murdering people. You've done all sorts of things, most of which I don't wish to recount. If it's all the same to you, I figured the next step would be crossing swords with this woman. She has disemboweled many.
Look, you're right. I've done a lot for humanity in the past. I will admit I am an altruistic type of individuality, but I could take one for the team on this account, I suppose. So apparently, Ebony is some kind of prostitute. I don't know how this came about.
You're the one that started it. Yeah, apparently.
I'm sorry, I'm just deciding things for your character here. I probably shouldn't be doing that.
It's okay.
Don't be sorry. I mean, well, she'll just have to justify why she's there, you know?
Looking for work.
Yeah, sure. Maybe she was unclear on the kind of work. I mean, you know. She just saw there was food and agreed.
New bear in town.
So sure. So you go back into this room where Ebony's waiting.
I imagine Ebony's about, at this point, probably about 8.5 foot tall. Not quite at full height yet. You know.
She just sprawled out in her tutu or whatever.
Eating berries.
Probably wearing an apron of some kind with maybe flowers on it. Yeah.
All right.
Your friend said you wanted to discuss some business with me.
He just goes. Shh. He puts his finger up to your lips. You just let me do all the work, honey bear. Cut to 3 hours later, and he walks out of the room with bow-legged, with a big fat grin on his face. I'm sorry, there's so much debauchery.
Cutting back to Lou. Look, Lou has an absolutely disgusted look on his face. That's disgusting. Like, really? That's disgusting.
You got a problem with bears, pretty boy? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
We have another flashback from Ebony's perception of the events. Completely different. This is one of those sitcom things where everyone recounts the day before, but everyone's perception is completely different.
So it's like one of those casting couches. This man said that I can get a job in this town if I do whatever this man says. Comes in. I walk out. I got the job. In my naive phase. Ebony wasn't always so wise.
Everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Ebony, you're great, Ebony, but no offense, but I mean, what's your bear's appearance? I mean, I doubt it's really high at all.
It's 16.
Yeah, I'm like, really, a bear?
What do you mean? What do you mean,
You
really?
really are an equal opportunity player.
Have you ever seen a bear this cute? I ask you.
I've never seen a bear this human-looking, if that's what you're asking.
To be
He
fair,
just-
Lou,
He's just like,
Billy is
nah.
surprisingly gentle.
I probably look pretty ugly to you, I would imagine, Ebony.
Actually, Lou, you look almost too good to be true. Like something like I've seen in a town once we had it set on fire. Those are good times. And there was this statue of a man holding a shield and some kind of strange weapon, I imagine, all curved, spiky. And he reminds me of you, kind of, in that he
Now that
seems
you
almost
mention it, he does
impossibly-
look. You look just like that statue.
Yeah, I have been described as something called a Greek god before, I believe the term was.
Well, he was on fire, so I wasn't entirely sure he was a god.
So he gets up closer to you, Lou, and he's like Billy's like just kind of confused looking at your face because he's recognizing you now. He's like,
We don't have time for that, Billy.
Ebony, use onto something here. This guy is that statue. What the hell is going on here?
That statue was bigger than me.
Well, the statue is bigger, but I tell you what, it is the exact same countenance and likeness on this here visage.
I kind of look over at Donovan. Donovan, what facility were you born in? Is it nearby?
Well, it's around the mountain on the other side. I suppose it's not too far away, although it is a pretty big mountain, not too easy to get there, and, well, needless to say, I haven't gone back to visit anytime soon.
Yeah, don't blame you.
And, well, I mean, this is, I can't even ever recollect being there. My earliest memory was, well, with my father. Traveling about. I've been traveling my whole life.
Well, if you must know, Billy, I too was born in a similar sort of situation to Donovan here.
What, you mean you was some kind of clone or something?
Prefer not to discuss the details at this
Hey,
time.
we just give you a whole bunch of details about our intimacies. I want to know about you.
Yeah, man, why don't you open up a bit, You got nothing to hide here out in the forest.
Why do you think me and Billy are so close?
We're gonna be stuck with each other, might as well get to know a bit about each other. That way we can decide if we don't like each other before we pass judgment.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I assume that we're still walking, right?
Yeah, you guys got plenty of walking to do.
Yep. Well, I'm not exactly a clone, as you might imagine. It might be a little, no offense, Billy, but it might be a little complicated for you.
Oh, what, you trying to say I'm stupid? I can't understand?
No, not at all. It's just,
No.
I was born in a very different circumstance, I'm sure, than what you were born in.
What, you mean you didn't come out the womb? You came out some kind of tube or something?
It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with intelligence, mine. It's got something to do with not the way some of these twisted pervert scientists think. Isn't the way any of us normal, right-minded people think, and it's hard to grasp.
Yeah, And that's what I mean. I mean, I'm sure you had a mother and a father, and that all makes a lot of sense to you, but I do not. I was born out of a machine in a facility fairly close to here. Um, Not quite as close as sounds like you're from, Donovan, but I was born out of a machine for a certain purpose.
You
So
gonna
that's
tell
why
us?
I look the way I. That's why I look the way I do. I was born to be.
Born to
What
be
was,
some
what,
kind
was,
of.
what was that purpose, man? To smell good?
Well,
Yeah, Ebony's just kind of scratching her face, kind of
I've
like
done.
like a robot,
I've
like a machine man.
well, as far as I know, as I've been told, uh, many years ago during that, before the final wars, there were many slave races to the pure humans, and my kind is along with the clones and other mutant kind. We were all slave races, and I was born a slave in a slave race to a machine, and my purpose is to do whatever the pure humans want of me. Anything at all. To cook, to clean, to take care of
Anything?
anything. To service them in any way that they see fit.
How big is your purpose? In inches.
Billy gets a wild look in his eye.
It's as well. Well,
I think it's built
I
to special specifications, man. If you know what I mean.
I kind of skip over that, but I they used me in every way that you could possibly imagine. My
I can
master,
imagine quite a bit.
yes, every way you could imagine.
Billy, you might want to be a bit sensitive. I mean, it is funny to crack jokes, but I think this is a pretty hard time on our mate here. I assume you didn't exactly comply with everything that they wanted you to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be out here right now.
Well, for many years, I had no choice. Um, you may think that I look like I'm in my mid-20s, but I am no such age. I am actually quite young, and uh, everyone assumes I'm older than I am, but I'm not. I'm only a mere 15 years old as far as I can remember it. I can remember everything from the age of 1 all the way up to the age I am now. And every year that I was in that cursed, abominable facility, I was subjected to horrible tortures. Seemed almost every waking moment of my existence was agony.
So flashback to that. What is one of these horrific form of tortures that your character had to endure?
So my character is basically is tied hand and foot to a bed as this woman who's wearing this elegant red dress with long black flowing hair and a sort of manic look in her eyes laughs as she dumps some sort of really hot liquid all over. My character is completely naked, and as she's dumping this hot liquid all over my back, and I scream as my flesh on my back is being basically boiled by this hot liquid. And cutting away to the next day. The next day she comes in, and I'm still tied to the bed, naked, and she comes in with knives this time and starts slowly cutting cutting the flesh on my back as I scream in agony.
The scream heard across the wasteland.
Basically, yeah.
Sure. So we could fade back.
Yeah.
That was significantly horrific. we'll fade back to the present.
I kind of shudder and kind of close my eyes, and as I'm done recounting some of the many various forms of punishment, and I say, yes, she had many creative ways that she would find to make my life a living hell. As far as I know, she was bored, and she had nothing but better to do with her time, and so she decided that torture was what she wanted me to do. I mean, I did other things. When she was done with me, I would serve food. I would cook food for the families. I would take care of their children, and I was expected to mindlessly obey. And for many years, that's the way it was. I mindlessly obeyed, but, well, things changed.
It would seem that way. I must say, you're quite a bit of a tougher cookie than I initially pegged you for, man. I didn't know you were, well, no one that walks the earth nowadays is really too sheltered anymore. But, well, I just didn't expect that from you, man. My apologies.
No, I'm sure you were treated. Every created slave race in my facility was treated, maybe not as terrible as my experience, but we were all treated as trash, less than proper human beings.
Oh, I suppose I sort of lucked out then, didn't I? Like I said,
Maybe like that?
if they did do anything to me that was, well, I suppose doubly messed up because I was but a youth at the time, and growing up, like I said, my earliest memories, at least consciously, are of traversing the wastes, the deserts, and streams with my father. I suppose that was maybe the main reason that my father brought me and my siblings out of that place. He never spoke much about it, and I always assumed there was a good reason. Jerry always pressed him for more, but I figured that some things are best unknown, some stones are best left unturned.
Well, I don't know if you know of my kind, but as I said, we are also a slave race, but we are. I was born this way. The way that you see me now was the way that I came out of the machine. So I did not grow up as a child, as you may have.
Yeah, that's quite strange. I've heard of such things, but I've never.
Bio replica.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before, but that's incredible. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's the next question I was going to ask you: is what were you born, or I suppose did you come into consciousness fully created? That's a bit of a trip, isn't it?
It's hard to understand. I've found I have not confided in many people these secrets, but those I have. It's hard. I can understand it might be difficult for you to understand, but I am still I'm still a teenager, so.
Oh well, I suppose it's you got to have someone that you reach out to, and some of us may not be living through this trip, so it's best to get things off your chest now if you need to.
Fair enough.
Sounds like you've been through a lot, Lou.
What?
It sounds like you've been through a lot, despite what your, I suppose, naive view of the outside world is.
Well, there are many things that you and Billy understand about this world that still very much confuse me. I've lived a life of being, well, and I don't have a lot of the sort of experience of the outside world that you two seem to have.
Billy has
I am
tasted
being
many
honest.
things over his years. He has
Huh?
told me.
Yeah.
Well-
Billy has tasted many things over the years. So he tells me.
Well, I suppose you must be integrating into society halfway decent. I mean, you got on the good side of the mayor.
Yes, well, the mayor has always been very kind to me, which is part of what attracted me to him in the first place. He's the only person who's never really asked that much of me. I get up every morning, as I always have since my first year of existence. I get up, I cook food, I get everything ready for the day, but he doesn't ask nearly as much of me as most people.
So you don't age then, I reckon.
Not as I don't understand it fully myself. I've never been told these things, but as far as I know, no, I never age from this form. This is the form I will be in for the rest of my existence, however long that may be. I do not understand how our people age. It's confusing. But we don't change, suffice it to say. We just somehow we stop eventually, but I don't know how. It's confusing. If any of you know anything more about bioreplicas, I would be happy to hear. If you've met any of more of my kind, I'd love to meet them. It's
Would
a
they
very
look like
confusing
you?
experience. Huh?
Bioreplicants? Yeah, I know a couple.
Will they look like you?
There's many types. It's hard to tell. The group that I escaped with, we had all different sorts of purposes. One of us was he basically all of his life he just picked up things for other people. Uh, he was a laborer in another, so he didn't look like me at all. He was part of a line of people who all looked very similar. There might be some that look similar to me out there, who might have this sort of, as you might put it, this sort of almost too good appearance. There might be others like that out there, but there are some that are born to be killers. There are some who are born to infiltrate society and murder people subtly. There are some who are born to do whatever, pleasure whoever they, however, be at the whim, the beck and call of a master like me. And then there's some others who are very good with numbers, very good at calculating things and thinking about things and papers and stuff like that, and writing. Something I've never been taught how to do. I've never been taught how to. But I knew another who she knew her numbers and she knew her letters, but they never saw fit to do anything like that for me.
So you were
Always wanted to learn, though.
for a purpose.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. I don't fully understand it. I know many years ago there was specific purposes for us all, but
Everybody thinks she understands. They're like you, but not like you.
yeah, there are some that actually may look exactly like me out there. I don't know. I've been told that there are some who are from what they call a line, almost like we're a bunch of machines all made the same way. Sometimes there will be many of us who all look the same, but I was the last of my kind in that facility. No more will come out of that machine.
Does that mean they'll possibly be looking for you?
Oh, most certainly. That's why I've kept to the city most of the time. I'm worried about this nearby facility you mentioned, Donovan. I wonder if they may be looking for you or maybe looking for others of our kind. I worry.
Well, I've talked to more than one traveler, and most have said that walked by that place said it was derelict, so much to the point that they didn't even want to go examine the ruins for any valuables or relics. I don't think that place is in use anymore.
That's good.
Not saying I want to go wandering about and find what kind of ghosts might be still living in that place, but well, at least as far the reports that I've heard of, that place is down and out for the count. Maybe for the better, it seems.
Yes.
This whole business is very strange indeed. Almost, I don't know what to say about it. I thought I was beginning to understand it, and the more I think I know, the more questions I have.
Well, if your father has not told you, I can tell you all about these stinking, horrible, disgusting creatures, these pure humans, as they call themselves.
All right, so we'll leave that party there. That was pretty good though. A lot of character stories. We just heard like Lou's story and Donovan's story, so that's cool. You guys are continuing in the jungle towards this sleeping beast. Meanwhile, let's cut back to our intrepid heroes in their tank coming across the wasteland. It is about evening the next day when we'll come upon you guys. I don't know what each of you is doing. You could specify. Of course, Murdoch is driving, and Charlene is preparing some vegetable soup for this evening.
I'd be giving directions, I imagine.
True. All right. So you're sitting up there, sort of shooting the breeze with him. Oh yeah, and Peabody was getting drunk. So are you just passed out by this point?
He's.
I mean, this is the next day,
plastered.
so.
Yeah, he's plastered.
Oh, I'm sorry. Reginald, were you up near me, or who? Because I'm still, as far as I know, I'm still in the turret. I'm still keeping an eye out.
Yeah, you're the lookout.
2 eyes and 3 eyes out.
Yeah, you're in the lookout. Reginald's down in the cockpit, sort of.
Sat next to the driver, probably, or just behind him, just giving him directions and sitting. While Peabody's probably planking in the back.
Oh, you right? Well, you seem to know this place pretty well. You've wandered around a lot, I take it?
Been around a few places, yeah. I had to travel, sort of forced to. After the cyborgs forced me and my family out of our home.
Yeah,
His
you
family,
know
huh?
about where you come from.
You mean there's more like you? I mean, no offense, man. I haven't been trying to look under your helmet too much there, but I can see you got something going on.
I can understand why you asked that question. If me and my family, we used to live in a sky city, in a forest city, many miles from here. To cut a long story short, a bunch of cyborgs came and chased us out of our home, and in doing so, we ended up like this, all mutated. They forced us into a swamp which was forbidden for us to go into because of the aforementioned things it does to you if you go in it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's pretty messed up, man. Who were these?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it was the Jenga Johnsons.
Yes, it was. You know of them?
Well, I don't know if there's too many cyborg lumberjack groups that not as many that whose name is as common on the lips as the Jenga Johnsons. I know them by reputation.
Yes, they're not a friendly bunch, unlike our friend Peabody here. He's probably just rocking back and forth at the back.
How you doing there, you bucket of bolts? Robot soup.
God, that stinks. It smells like a combination of like gasoline and upchuck.
It's like he's breathing rust.
Are we there yet?
I almost wonder if that's flammable. Could we use that as fuel or something? I mean,
Don't touch that. Oh,
someone's got to clean it up.
Open a hatch. Good lord.
So it's about that time that you get a voice coming into your head there, Reginald, the voice of your father. Hello, son.
Hey, Dad. What's up?
Really? What's up? What's up is that why have you not contacted your mother or I? You said you would be home yesterday. Where are you?
Things got a bit complicated.
We're worried about your mother's worried about you, Reginald.
I'm doing okay. I'm in a little bit of an adventure with a couple of, a semi-human, a cyborg. I know what you're gonna say, but the cyborg's okay, at least for the most part. And a driver, we're heading to the desert.
The desert? What?
Desert.
There's no trees in the desert.
I am aware of this, Father. I am aware of this. We've talked about this before. You can.
Yes.
The forest isn't the only place in the entire world. There's a whole other, place out there, man. You're so stuck in your ways.
People don't accept us. I'm stuck in my way because I've been forced in this rut, as it were. People don't exactly welcome us with open arms and open eyes when they see us.
Can you blame them? I mean, look what happened to us. We look like monsters.
That's fair enough, but you would think with all the lives that we've saved, with all our building materials that we've supplied for them, and again, another conversation. More territory well trod.
We've been there before, Father. But look, if I help this, I've got a deal. I spoke to the mayor, and if he asked me if I help him, we won't be able to move into the town. We wouldn't have to live outside anymore. We'd be able to come into the city where it's safe. My brother and sister wouldn't have to be scared of being chased around by big werebears.
Yeah, well, maybe there is something to that. You're getting older now, boy, and it's time that you started making your own decisions. You can do what you will, although it will be hard without your help here in a month or so when we begin the season. Hopefully you will be returned by then.
I should be back by then.
At least stay in contact with your mother. She gets upset that you are not here, and then she's in a bad mood, and I have to deal with it because I'm here. I'm the only one here, the only one that she interacts with. So please, for my sake, if not your mother's, let her know what's going on.
I'll keep in contact. But right now, Dad, I'm sort of directing things in the desert. I'm trying to show them where gear shift is.
You've grown too big for your own father, huh? I understand.
I'm trying to look cool, guys. I'm trying to look cool.
All right. Well, I'll let you go then. Did you still have the lunch that I packed for you?
Unfortunately, it was crushed by a giant tree. Not my doing.
A giant tree? What are you rubbing elbows with some other loggers?
I wouldn't exactly call him a logger. More of an enthusiastic amateur.
Hobbyist.
Hobbyist. Yeah. I try to give him a few pointers. It's kind of how we met, really.
Well, son, I suppose I'll let you go then. But, I must say, I'm a bit proud of you.
First time for everything, right, Father? First time for everything.
Be careful.
I will.
So do you
At this moment.
do you speak in your head or do you verbalize it through your mouth as well?
I imagine that I actually only speak the replies that I'm saying. So
Right, I think that's what we established last time. So everyone else is sitting there like.
No, I'm kind of looking intently at him, and once he kind of breaks out of that, I'm like, Do you have the visions? Do you speak to the Sky Christ? I know of people who have the visions. Do you too have the visions? Will they help us? Will the spirits of the ancestors direct us to this gear shift?
I don't want to let you down, Edward, but that was kind of my dad.
Your dad is the Sky Christ?
As far as I know, he's just a logger.
There was something about him being a logger or working with wood of some sort.
Guys, it looks like we have some company here.
I kind of look up and look around.
Sure, and sure enough, you can see that there is 10 men all on horses that have. You're not sure if it doesn't look like they were stalking you from the direction they were coming. And I mean, you're in a desert where there's sort of rolling hills and ups and downs everywhere, so you could come upon someone fairly quickly without really seeing them in the distance or without knowing about them until you're more or less up on them.
Yeah.
But regardless, this group of riders is more or less upon you. I mean, they're not right there, but they are within your vicinity. They have obviously seen you, and they are making your direction. One of them rides out in front of the others, a bit in front of the others, assumably the leader of this band. He's a pretty big man, really 6.5 feet tall. He has long, black, greasy hair, mustache combo, and a broad face with sort of 8 inches resembles what would mean
I think you're cutting out.
It's difficult to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want to turn down the mix or something?
Hello?
I think he's cut out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I heard something.
You want to restart it? Man, son of.
Run my bandwidth all the way down.
Yeah, you're still a little bit cutting out. A little bit.
Well, I'm
Maybe
not sure.
you could
Well, here I'm leaving all of you that.
Yeah, I still can't really hear you. I might advise like restarting. Yeah, there you go.
So we were about to get attacked. I had to pause it there for a second. Okay.
Oh, son of Sky Christ. Nice. I like it.
That sounds very important.
It is. It's very important.
Is Peabody alive in there?
I think he's passed out.
Yeah, maybe for now we'll cut back to the previous day in conversation as we're talking with one another. Well, Peabody's still kind of passed out, isn't he? Yesterday.
He can't hold his rum as well as his oil.
Well, there he is. Hello. Lost 2.
Wow, okay. We might be at an end tonight, which is fine with me because it's getting pretty late. So maybe we should just end here because we probably don't want to do a whole battle at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad place to end. Actually, it's kind of a good suspense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I just dropped out there.
Hello. So we actually had an idea. Jason and I were talking about it while everyone else cut out. Maybe this might be a good place for us to actually stop. Just because it is kind of a nice cliffhanger, but also, like, it is getting a little bit late.
I don't know if it's you guys, but I think the
Right,
hangout is
right.
starting to like act up as well.
Say what?
I
Sorry,
don't know if
Matt?
it's you guys, but it seems like the hangout itself is acting up now as well. Like,
Yeah.
I just got cut from there.
Yeah.
This might be, I don't know, what do you think, John?
You guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Not really.
Not really.
You kind of sound like a drunk. You kind of sound like a drunken baby at the moment, John. No
And I guess
offense.
that's it.
Not that I have any experiences with drunken babies. Just to put that to rest.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
just
we'll
gonna
call it
end
here.
it here. But thanks for anyone who may have been watching, and we will continue next time with strange people approaching. All right, I'm cutting it here. See y'all later.